to boiling summers, and it's almost a requirement to have an AC. The only problem is it costs money to power the AC, and because of how much you use it, your electric bill is going to be outrageous. But what if there could be a cheaper way to power your house using only the sunlight and a few panels in your roof? In northern Florida, yearly, people spend thousands on power, mostly doing this in addition to the regular power that people need to have. Due to the state's extreme amount of sunshine, however, I do believe that the cost of power in Jacksonville could be drastically lowered with a little bit of help from Mother Nature. According to Tom Randall of Bloomberg Business, solar grids are a technology that has been rapidly expanding, evolving, and becoming less expensive year after year, which is a trend that appears to be continuing. Utilizing solar panels in Jacksonville as a means of obtaining energy would not only save money, but would also be better for the environment and be more efficient in the long run. Today I'll explain to you a little bit about how solar panels operate, how they save people money over time, and how they're an environmentally sound alternative to traditional means of acquiring energy. First of all, we need to learn a little bit about what a solar panel is and how it works. According to Scott Aldous in his article How Solar Cells Work, the average solar panel is made up of photovoltaic cells, which are made of semiconductors such as silicon. When these semiconductors absorb light, the energy knocks electrons loose. The freed electrons are made to move in a certain direction by one or more electric fields, depending on the type of panel. This electron flow is a current, which can be drawn out by metal contacts to be used as electricity. As stated by Lee Devon of Solar Power Authority, the average panel produces about 200 watts of power, and the number of panels you have depends on your energy needs, as well as the size of your roof. Due to the extremely sunny nature of Jacksonville, we could get near maximum efficiency out of solar panels. I propose that Jacksonville sets up a solar panel grid on the rooftops and on the high points of the various buildings, and sets up a power grid connected to the system to reduce the price paid for electricity, emissions from coal burning, and to be a more efficient means of energy production in the long run. Now that you know how solar panels operate, you need to know how they can save you money. They can save you money, pardon me. It used to be that solar power was a thing for only the wealthy or for those that had large amounts of devotion to being good for the environment, due to the fact that the technology was new and very highly priced. When solar panels were first sold, they had a rather high price for a low amount of power output. Now, according to Tom Randall, the prices are steadily dropping, and the panels will pay for themselves after a number of years. In many situations, solar power is becoming the same price or cheaper than paying an actual company for electricity. Installing a solar grid in Jacksonville would not only cause businesses to pay less for their electricity, but it would also make it feasible for them to save quite a bit of money on utilities once the payback period had ended, and possibly even be reimbursed. According to PG&E, a solar grid that isn't self-reliant, any overflow or unused energy flows back into the power grid, and you can be reimbursed for the power put back into the system. Lastly, you need to know why solar power is a safer, cleaner alternative to traditional power gathering methods. Jacksonville, running off of solar power, would reduce harmful emissions caused by coal-burning power plants, as solar panels give off no emissions nor cause any adverse effects to the environment. According to Greg Whitburn, they are effectively one of the cleanest means of obtaining energy. Solar panels are also a never-ending source of energy as long as the sun isn't extinguished. We will continue to derive energy from them. Also, while coal plants require coal to burn, which costs plenty of money and depletes resources, the sun is both free and very, very renewable. Solar power is non-reliant on fossil fuels as well, which means it's unaffected by the politics and markets surrounding that. By implementing solar panels throughout Jacksonville, the city would be effectively both helping the environment as well as saving natural resources that can be put to use in other ways. Today you learned the basics of how solar power works, how solar power can save you money, and why it's a clean alternative to coal-burning power plants. The city of Jacksonville could certainly benefit from having solar panels, as opposed to being entirely coal-powered. While depending entirely on solar energy for a city of its size is hardly feasible, there are many good reasons that the city would prosper from the addition of partial solar grids. The emissions from the coal-burning plants would be reduced, money would be saved on power bills, and in the long run, the system would pay for itself. While at first the price might be steep to install so many panels, once the payback period ended, profit would be being made from the grid instead of having to pay so much every week or month for power. The benefits of having such a system in place would far outweigh the problems in the long run and would make Jacksonville a cleaner, greener, and more efficient city for those in the future to enjoy. Now, as the sun shines, you can sit inside and enjoy the cool air, the panels on your roof keeping power to your AC, for far cheaper than it was. You no longer are charged ridiculous amounts for the cool air in the summer or the heat in the winter. You merely rely on something that Florida has plenty of to spare: sunlight. Thank you for your time.